Stage 2 of the Tour of Hungary would take the riders over a 175-kilometre jaunt in western Hungary. We're set to be less than clement weather conditions. The rain's predicted, the wind's blowing a little bit of a headwind for the first half of the stage, and Dylan Groenewegen sitting pretty in the yellow jersey after his glorious success on stage 1. Mateusz Stoiczek's second overall at 2 seconds as a result of his efforts in the breakaway. Sam Bennett second by millimetres on stage 1. What can he do about improving on that position into stage 2? Stage 2 of the Tour of Hungary, and the riders getting set for 175 kilometres of flat-out blast. Would it be another one for the sprinters heading out of the glorious and sumptuous surroundings of Zalaegerszeg to Keszthely. Zalaegerszeg, beautiful part of the world, and we're in western Hungary in one of the big tourist locations. Peloton is the destination point as we take the circuitous route to the national park. We have 2 classified climbs along the way, 3 intermediate sprints, 2 classified climbs rated at category 3. So this one billed as another one for the gallopers once more. Intermediate sprints, 3 in number, offering bonus seconds and of course decent haul of points towards that points classification. Keszthely, traditional destination point for the Tour of Hungary, and a very important tourist location. People have been coming to take the waters in this part of the world for many a long year, back to the 18th century. Situation as an important tourist venue in that time. And that palace is the most beautiful palace in all of Hungary. Riders getting set for battle today. A few of them a little bit battered and bruised after the late race crash yesterday. Egan Bernal reporting for duty.
She goes over and over little events in her life, reliving her successes and suffering through her failures.
Total, 9 of them sitting at World Tour level, 9 at Protein level, 3 continental squads, of course a Hungarian national team. All eyes on the local riders, all eyes on the sights and sounds and some of the entertainment being presented to the riders at Zalaegerszeg. Actually enough, some of the great and good have come to Zalaegerszeg, including local dignitaries. Stephen Roach as well, Tour de France winner from 1987. He's along to help with proceedings throughout the week. Mateusz Stoiczek, resplendent in the red of the leader of the Tour of the Mountains classification. He joins Sam Bennett, who's looking after the points jersey today. Groenewegen in yellow. Best place local rider is Balázs.
El kell majd a zászló lendítésével indítani a mezőt. Tiszteletben van egy nyílás. Nem sokára a verseny Mester úr! Induló!
Fabio Jakobsen gets his greetings and best wishes from the well-wishers in the crowd here. The European road race champion. What can he do about backing up his successes following a Tour of Hungary in 2022? Well, plenty of gilets in evidence at the start of proceedings with riders. Well, it's not exactly cold, but it's not exactly warm. Naturally enough, riders keen to try and get warm, and naturally enough, it's the host nation providing much of the attacking interest in the opening salvos. Anybody sneak into an easy early move? That one didn't work, but the next one did. Didn't take too long, did it? And already these riders opening up a decent advantage. 4 riders racing clear. Rodolfo here on the front, showing the scars of battle from yesterday, trying to organise the break. He's one of the youngest riders there. Bit of frustration being shown by his teammate. Team Novo Nordisk would like to have placed Charles Planet into the move up front. He didn't make it. Neither too did Christophe Arvai. Late to the party. Hungarian rider. What it would have meant to him to be part of the lineup up front. He's part of the Epronics Hungary cycling team. Quartet in the lead, including the representative of the national team of Hungary, Horenko, ploughing on and pushing on as Arvai is welcomed back into the embrace of the main peloton. Front of the peloton, as you can see, echelon across the road, indicating that the wind is a bit of a factor today. Headwind for the most part in the opening part of this stage. Dylan Groenewegen looking serious but relatively relaxed. The Jayco Alula squad close to the head of affairs. Caleb Ewan for the God of Destiny team, wearing that distinctive crash out. Would that be bobbing its way to glory at the conclusion of the day's activities? And always a big crowd out to see the riders. This event, its 44th incarnation. It's been a stop-start and patchy sort of a history to this event, but there's a really, really rich heritage of cycling in Hungary, and this event can trace its lineage all the way back to 1925. It's one of the older stage races in Europe. The early cooperation between the breakaway, broken by the first intermediate sprint of the day, offering an opportunity for Rodolfo, the young rider from the Novo Nordisk squad, just 21 years of age, from Udine in Italy, taking the 5 points towards the points classification, also 3 seconds from his situation on general classification. Renko and Turek also scoring at that first sprint advantage, north of 3.5 minutes for our quartet of raiders. Henry IV of Hungary knew how to build a pretty good castle, didn't he? It looks like it's had a few upgrades of late. Weather conditions not likely to reproduce a scenario that might lead to fires. It's kind of damp out there. Rain on the wind. It's the theme of the race. Everyone getting into the spirit of the event and of the occasion. Peloton stretched thin in pursuit of that breakaway group, who are tapping out a solid rhythm. Bunch keeping them honest, they keeping the bunch honest. And young race fans have waited a long time for the arrival of their heroes. A bidon tossed towards that young fan, and he'll treasure that one if he did manage to get it. In this part of Hungary, for down to green pastures, plenty of vineyards around these here parts as well. And on the northern slopes of the lake. Just over 100 kilometers of the day remaining, and the next important battle be coming towards the first of the climbs of the day, and that would be it for and from the breakaway. Horenko, the local man, Team Hungary rider not able to follow the pace being set by Rodolfo and Turek. And Turek absolutely launching himself at that one, almost collecting the motorcycle. Was just reporting on this wonderful event. Turek gets up to take the 5, though. That's going to be useful. Rodolfo and Dima. Dima distanced on the climb. Makes a huge effort and gets, well, distanced by, a matter of a few seconds, and managed to get himself back into the fray. So 3 from the initial 4, still at front after that first climb of the day. Castle's had a bit of an upgrade of late. And Norbert Renko, his time out front coming to a conclusion. And he too welcomed back into the main peloton, which hasn't really given the breakaway group much as day one. They haven't really given them a whole lot of rope to work with. Down to 1.5 minutes, inside 60 kilometers to go. The 3 up front. Dima second in line, the Romanian national road race champion. 26-year-old rider. Just behind him, Turek, another rider who's well known indeed and has enjoyed. This has been a happy hunting ground for him in the past. Daniel Turek, the oldest rider in the break today, 30 years of age, the Czech rider. Turek has finished well up in the Tour of Hungary in the past. I'll tell you about that as we revisit the battle for intermediate sprint honours, and this one not contested quite the same figure as the first one. Turek has decided he's targeting the mountains points. Let's try and protect the situation for the ATT investment squad. Filippo Rodolfo, though, has gained more prize money and more points towards the points competition, and indeed more bonus seconds off his time. He'll move up overall with this one if he manages to hang on to the bunch, always assuming that they're going to be caught. I think it's fair to say, given no more than 3 minutes or so, 3.5 minutes, it's a tough ask for the break. Oh, it's a tough old day for Charles Planet. Missed the break, has spent much of the day towards the tail of the peloton. Now finds himself with the chain unshipped. Shouldn't be hugely complicated to put it on from there, but just indicative of a difficult day for the Frenchman, who was one of the stars of the breakaway group on stage 1. He's left it up to his teammate Filippo Rodolfo on stage 2, and it's Dima that is next to call a halt to his time of the breakaway, involuntarily, I might add. Romanian rider distanced by the scrapping duo of Turek and Filippo Rodolfo, and Rodolfo has been teak tough, where Turek had enough of a gallop to take the points at the top of the climb the first time of asking. This time around it's Rodolfo, and it's frustration for Turek because he knows had he taken that one, he would likely have gone, almost certainly, absolutely, definitely would have gone into the lead of the mountains competition. Meanwhile, behind, it's his teammate Stoicek, who started the day in the Red Mountains jersey, that takes the final point on offer. And with that, it will ensure that he retains it. So at least it's the ATT squad that will hang on to the jersey, but a little bit of frustration for Daniel Turek, who I mentioned is a rider who's enjoyed success in this event in the past. Third, indeed, in the Tour of Hungary back in 2016. Including 4th, 5th and 10th place finishes along the way. And indeed his 4th place finish came into Keszthely, so this part of Hungary is one he knows well and has enjoyed success in the past. And riders coming to grief at the back of the peloton. These recorded images telling us exactly what difficulties befell the likes of Dima from the break, and others finding themselves in the ditch on one side or the other. Q36.5 riders on the deck there. Difficult moment. As our breakaway duo now, 2 riders, more riders off. This is, well, the roads are made treacherous really by this rain, and it's a tough old day out, isn't it, for Valent. Mark Valent was the rider in yellow, the youngest rider in the bike race, just spilling off to the left. So we get another look at this, and again, just a touch of wheels towards the back of the peloton this time. Riders hitting the deck. And they're more likely to crash in the wet. The only thing is they're more likely to slide in the wet. Roads made slick. And Boros as well of the Hungarian team. Slightly, I mean, it's just disorientating, even if there's no head injury or any effect of that nature. Just the fact that you suddenly hit the deck and been cruising along at 40 kilometers an hour plus, suddenly it's quite a shock to the system. And that has caused the Peloton to stall a little bit, give the two out front a little bit more daylight, a little bit more time out front, a momentary reprieve, you feel. It's down to the final 15 kilometers of stage 2 of the Tour of Hungary, and the Tudor Pro Cycling squad nearest the camera in those black jerseys, red bikes, trying to get something organised for their man Michael Zilliard. Finds 6th place finish on stage 1. It's the Bora-Hansgrohe squad now on the front, trying to control and trying to take command at the head of the peloton. We've got Sam Bennett, so close to victory yesterday. And he got one better today, looking after that green jersey, points jersey, on behalf of the overall race leader Dylan Groenewegen. Groenewegen just slipping out a shot there. He's a little bit further back in the peloton, around about, what, 30th position, as the peloton tiptoes its way through this downhill, slightly off camber and fairly quick left-hander. Particularly complicated. Will have got their attention though. The teams wanted to get to the front, and it's the Soudal Quick Step squad on the front of the peloton. They've had Tim de Klerk doing lots of legwork throughout the afternoon in pursuit of the breakaway. They've certainly earned the right to go sprinting today. Fabio Jakobsen, 7th on stage 1. He'd like to improve on that one. And Rodolfo has given a fine account of himself today. He's been the strongest rider of the 4 up front. Turek can only watch with pain and admiration, you suspect. As Rodolfo continues to churn along at the front. Meanwhile, down the back of the peloton, there's plenty of riders there who won't play any further part in it. De Klerk back up front. It's a great effort. 14k to go. He's been up front for most of the day. You see the white jersey, the first time of the European champion Fabio Jakobsen. He's been sitting in the wheels further back for much of the day. It's down to a handful of seconds inside 15k to go as the peloton winds up for what is inevitably going surely to be a bunch sprint, unless there's some remarkable late race attack. So now a quick step there, man. Tim de Klerk grinding along in the front. Lotto Destiny also, those red, blue and white jerseys. And after the interests of Caleb Ewan, who's just on the left-hand side of your shot there. Sprinters galore. It's a fine sprint field in Tour of Hungary 2023. The envy of many a stage race, and probably the best one currently in evidence in world bike racing. It's a stunning collection of riders. I think of Jakobsen, the European champion, Groenewegen, yesterday's winner, the likes of Sam Bennett, aforementioned, 2nd place finisher from yesterday. Caleb Ewan getting up for 3rd on stage 1. Phil Bauhaus as well has got a string of top results to his name. Just scratching the surface. Matteo Moschetti, who might be one to watch out for, the Q36.5 rider, was 2nd in the most recent sprint finish into our finish town today. That coming back in 2018 when he was 2nd to Manuel Belletti. He's got teammates down towards the back of the peloton. He hope to move up a little bit further. And indeed, Moschetti was a bit further back than might be advised. Having said that, he's got fully 12.5 kilometers to make it through to the front of the bunch, as the leading duo are about to be finally overhauled by the main peloton. Still, the Soudal Quick Step squad command the front on the left-hand side of your picture. Trek Segafredo trying to move their man into position as well. And it's fist bumps and congratulations. Turek naturally paying due respect to his young Italian cohort. As Turek's having a little look to see where his teammate is, and indeed he's over on the right-hand side, the red jersey of Stoicek, just behind the Bora-Hansgrohe squad. Thoughts perhaps on trying to maybe sneak about a second or two. He's 2nd overall in this bike race, just 2 seconds down on the yellow jersey. Might be worth it. might be of interest to a couple of the general classification contenders. And Turek, I think, he's enjoyed his day out in the break, taking plenty of mountains points. It's a strong rider. Both he and indeed Rodolfo are. De Klerk showing the pain of 2 long days at the front of the peloton. Judo Pro Cycling. Sit in the 2nd division of World Cycling, surely with designs on moving up. Zilliard, 6th across the line yesterday for them. Now it's Masnada setting the tempo for the Sudal Quick-Step squad. Urku, number 64, is going to look after Jakobsen in the white jersey. Urku, lead out man par excellence. Charging along, the pace is starting to ramp up now, approaching the final 10 kilometers of stage 2 of the Tour of Hungary, from Zalaegerszeg to Keszthely. No quarter given at this point, and not too much room being made for colleagues and rivals. The squeal of the brakes, the wet weather contributing to the noise from those disc brakes, the byproducts of the switch from traditional rim brake calipers to disc brakes. It's that squeal that would create terror in many a group, but these riders are well used to it, they understand, and they are amongst the bravest riders we're likely to see in world sport. Destiny trying to put the entire band together in its colour combinations at the front. So now Quick-Step on the front of the left-hand side of picture, and a Destiny in the red just beside them. Tiptoeing through these little combinations tend to go. Just a small matter of that final intermediate sprint of the day coming up. Meanwhile, down the back at the friendly end of the peloton, it's not that easy to surf along in the wheels. Speed is pretty intense for Baroncini and the Trek Segafredo squad. And Aberasturi perhaps will be the man to sprint for them. He's enjoyed success in the Tour of Turkey in the past. And Niels Liepen's help will be there to help him as well. And the group tightly compacted at the front, as those that have the front want to control it, want to retain it. Human Powered Health in the orange moving up on the right-hand side. They've got Vemash, who's in the top 10 yesterday, the emerging Belgian sprinter. That'll be one to look for. The Ineos Grenadiers squad just sort of peeking towards the front of the bunch as well. And they've got Elia Viviani to sprint, and no sign of Viviani just there at the moment. This, though, is the sprint before the sprint for the intermediate bonus seconds on offer. Like Jonathan Narve has taken that one from Ben Tollett. Narvaez might fancy going for the overall in this bike race. Not sure of the form of Egan Bernal, much further back in the main peloton. He's in this main peloton, and after yesterday's bruising encounter with the tarmac, it's great to see the Colombian. You can actually pick him in shot. Number 1, the centre of your shot, just the centre of the bunch at the moment, just staying out of trouble as best he can. He'd like to get a free ride to the finish without encountering any difficulties, extra challenges of a crashy nature. Just over 8k to go. Building up for a gallop, surely. And Tollett taking useful bonus seconds as well. Who would he be a man to watch out for? Human Powered Health on the left-hand side of shot, those burnt orange jerseys and that sort of Zorro slash. Ever so slightly. The finale is relatively uncomplicated. It's not one that's going to be too challenging inside the final 3 kilometres, albeit there is a slight drag between 2 kilometres and 1 kilometre to go, which is, you wouldn't call it a mountain, but it might potentially offer the the launching pad for a late bid for glory. Maybe a team or a rider that don't fancy their chances in the sprint. We'll just see if they can hoodwink the main peloton here. Plenty of sprint talent in this group, though. A lot of teams for whom nothing less than a big group finish can be countenanced. It's tough to go against the collective will of such a large group. Israel Premier Tech. Idemar Einhorn is a useful sprinter for them. Jones, good finisher as well. We've got Ben Hermans, who's been up in this race overall to protect into the closing stages and ensure that he stays in a fine and prime position. Groenewegen we pick out in that yellow jersey, blue shorts, nestling in the left-hand side of the bunch and close to the head of affairs. He's got plenty of teammates ranged around him. Callan O'Brien is currently in the front of their lineup, and they're going to keep Mesget's behind Dylan Groenewegen. Mesget's the traditional lead-out man for the Dutch powerhouse. Tudor Pro Cycling solo rider at the head of affairs. Still Zalaegerszeg. Happy enough to race along on the right-hand side. Maybe Jakobsen nestling behind three teammates. Relatively controlled at this point. Tudor Pro Cycling going looking for the sprinter. Looks controlled, still plenty of shouting in there. You can be sure behind about sort of 25th position, it's actually kind of hectic with riders getting increasingly anxious about the chances of moving up. Michael Leonard down towards the back for the Ineos Grenadiers squad, teenage rider. Just working his way into the top level of racing and experiencing another bumfest, surely likely to end in a gallop today. Six and a bit to go. The Alpecin De Koning squad as well in those blue jerseys, just behind the Soudal Quick-Step team. Just starting to move up. Alpecin De Koning. Jakub Mareczko, remember, has taken 3 stage victories in this race in the past, 3 indeed, in the one race a couple of years ago. 2020 he took 3 stage victories when the race was run in August. Bit of a crazy calendar that year. More structure about the calendar this year, and more structure about the bike race today as well, as indeed yesterday. All about control, and we saw how it went a bit pear-shaped with just over a kilometre to go yesterday. We hope control will be maintained by the bunch all the way through the finish line. First sight of Bahrain victorious, close to the head of affairs there. The riders with those orange jerseys and orange, well, they're sort of yellow helmet, dark, lighter in colour indeed, with a black flash. So they're similar jersey colours to the human-powered health team. And Phil Bauhaus will be hoping that he can be escorted through to the conclusion. To go for 4th place, but it's human-powered health on the front at the moment. Then the Bahrain Victoria squad immediately behind him, the blue flashing in their sleeves and their shorts lets you know that that's the Bahrain Victorious team. Far left of shot, loaded Destiny in control. Much like yesterday, the Soudal Quick-Step squad have dropped back in the pocket a little bit, happy to leave it up to the other teams. Made it a little bit difficult for Fabio Jakobsen. Could do no better than 7th yesterday. And he's got Lampart and indeed Morco for company. Has Fabio Jakobsen far on the right-hand side of the shot. Sam Bennett up the middle at the moment. There's a couple of riders looking after him, like Danny Van Poppel, his final lead-out man, and Shane Archbold is thereabouts as well. You can see just how difficult it is to maintain this pace for any length of time. Some find it easier than others. And inside 5 to go. It's absolutely flat chat. Coming down to the closing stages of Stage 2 of the Tour of Hungary for 2023. Bahrain victorious take control at the front of the peloton. Flapping around at the back of the bunch, you can see still coming out of that right-hander. Tells you all you need to know about the pace. Well, one rider at the front for the Bahrain victorious squad gives it up to the Human Powered Health team. Boratti, having done his lead out, switch across to the right-hand side for the Lotto Destiny team. Offers the opportunity for the Tudor Pro Cycling and indeed Q36.5 to move up the middle. Jaco Lula now starting to step up as well for Dylan Groenewegen, and Groenewegen has played a canny game. His confirmation, Norway is getting the bonus seconds and some points towards the points competition. It was about the bonus seconds though. Talent taking the 2 bonus seconds in the Ashford de Boris. I don't think he was too bothered, he just toured across the line there. So a quick step on the right. DSM lined up behind them. Team DSM did a solid job in the lead out yesterday. Casper Van Uden not able to contest though outside the top 20. And they're revving it out now inside 3 kilometers to go as we come to the conclusion of this stage. It's been a slow burner, much as you expect, and the shoulders are starting to fly in there as a lot of Destiny team want to maintain and control their position and build a little bit of daylight and just a little bit of wiggle room for Caleb Ewan. Caleb Ewan inside the top 15 at the moment. Bora Hansgrohe's squad see Sam Bennett slip. Well, he's in the middle of the shot, middle of the bunch that are contesting this one. Looks to be in control of the effort, but gone looking for his lead-out man. Meanwhile, up front, Team DSM, 3 riders to the 4. Van Uden will be the 3rd and final rider to go for them. And the peloton cleaved once more by the roundabout, and what's rent asunder can be put back together again. Lot of Destiny, little peer over the shoulder, make sure all problems, and that's Einhorn of the Israel Premier Tech squad. Now look for him, he won't be involved in the sprint today, but Team DSM certainly will be, as they're up on the right hand side and still managing. This is this little drag I was telling you about. It's not exactly a mountain, but it certainly slows the pace, doesn't it, a little bit, if not the intensity. It's still a big effort. And Dylan Groenewegen is maintaining and managing his position close to the head of affairs in that yellow jersey in the center of your shot. He's got a couple of Jaco Lula teammates to look after him. Bezgets will be the final one of those. Jakobsen in the white jersey behind the yellow jersey, European champion, picking up and on the lead out from his fellow countryman and rival, in some respects a nemesis. Look at the effort here from DSM on the right hand side of the bunch, trying to maintain position. Good effort here from the Caja Rural squad, just trying to capitalize perhaps from the little drag upwards and coming up the middle, putting a couple of riders into position. There's no standout sprinter. Prades has been known to produce good results in the past, but it's Caleb Ewan in the red of and the blue of Lotto Destiny. Sits in fine position. Got a lead-out man on the front of the bunch, and Caleb Ewan just nestles into the lead-out train of the DSM squad into the closing stages and going for glory. 2 to launch, Casper Van Uden. Then you've got Caleb Ewan. And then Lampart going to pick up and present Fabio Jakobsen, presumably into the closing stages as we wind it up for the gallop. And Danny Van Poppel trying to bring Sam Bennett up into prime position. No sign of the yellow jersey at the moment. Not sure he's going to be able to sprint. DSM go for glory. Casper Van Uden to the line inside the final 200 meters. It's Caleb Ewan. Looks like he's in good shape. Phil Bauhaus as well. But here comes Fabio Jakobsen. Jakobsen like a thunderbolt. And it's glory for the Slalom quick step score the second time of asking as Fabio Jakobsen gets up for the victory. That one never in doubt after yesterday's millimetre thin success for his fellow countryman. It's Fabio Jakobsen that gets his arms in the air, and the issue never in doubt. Relief and joy and a clenched fist celebration for the Soudal Quick-Step man. Fabio Jakobsen gets up. Let's get a look at this again. DSM controlled the lead out for the second day in succession. Van Uden third in line here, looks in good shape. And Caleb Ewan looks like he's picked the right lead out. Bahrain Victoria is trying to present Phil Bauhaus up onto the wheel of Caleb Ewan, all looking pretty good there. The green jersey of Sam Bennett looks in prime position as well. Now, here comes Jakobsen just now. And Jakobsen up and over Bennett, as if he wasn't there, past Bauhaus, and then past the battling duo of Caleb Ewan and Casper Van Uden. Glory for Fabio Jakobsen as he takes success on stage 2. 26-year-old from the Netherlands gets up for his third victory of the season. It's been a little while since the last one. Coming in March, beginning of March, in the Tirreno Adriatico. And also can add to a stage win in the Vuelta a San Juan on the second day of racing back in January, so that's a while ago. So they were relatively slim pickings for a rider of his ability, but he's got the glory. He's got another great success in Hungary, and you can see what that means to him. So success for Fabio Jakobsen, and with it, potentially, a jersey to wear as well for tomorrow. Wait for full confirmation of that, but it's Jakobsen that gets up ahead of Bauhaus. Vito Bratt getting up for third. Excellent effort from him, ahead of Van Uden. Zilliard and Ace, Ewan, Jones, Moschetti and Kopetsky rounding out the top 10. But it's Fabio Jakobsen that's celebrating another fine success, his third in his Tour of Hungary career.
Fabio, back to winning ways. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels good. As a sprinter, you want to sprint for the win. Yesterday I was boxed in to stop pedaling a bit. The positioning was not great. Today I could find a way. I was also a bit far back, but yeah, it's just busy nowadays. There's a lot of sprinters, a lot of sprinter teams. I know I have it in the legs, I've got the speed. So I just need to be able to show it, and yeah, today was a good day. I'm happy with the win. The team deserves this. We work very hard for it, all of us. So yeah, it's nice to take it. Last year was also the second stage, this year again, and I will enjoy the yellow jersey tomorrow.
How was it in the final? I mean, there were, as you said, a lot of sprinting teams, a lot of sprinters, and you weren't at the picture, at the TV picture from you were really at the back.
Yeah, I think I was in the front after the roundabout, 1.8 to go. Then it was a small uphill. I was behind Michael Morkov, but then on the left and the right there was teams passing. We got boxed. I lost the wheel. Yeah, and then I just tried to remain calm, find my way. It was slightly downhill, so I tried to find my way towards the 500. Stayed on the right side, and then there was a gap, and I think I launched my sprint 300 to go to find a slipstream, and I could make speed, pass everyone else, and raise my arms, and yeah, I know I've got it in the legs. I just need to get into the sprint winning position, and so far this year has not been ideal, but I know I've got it in the legs, so I just need to show it if I'm able, and from here we continue.
How difficult it was with wet roads at the finish?
Yeah, wet roads is always a bit tricky, but a sprint is a sprint. Everybody's racing in the rain. Like I said, I'm from the Netherlands. I know what it's like to ride on wet roads. I was racing in the rain, so I'm used to it, and I actually quite like it.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Well, he's one of the few, but then he probably would like it if he's got the win, and indeed it was an emphatic success, wasn't it? Well, Fabio Jakobsen described it as busy. His fellow countryman Grunewagen described it the day before as hectic. Sprints are always certainly challenging and interesting and frenetic and confusing and wonderful. And glorious success for Fabio Jakobsen, and with it comes the overall race lead. Dylan Grunewagen has been pipped based on countback of finishing order. They're level on time at the top. Phil Bauhaus into third, Bennett back to fourth, Stoicek has slipped to 5th from 2nd after his glories in the day 1 break. And more stuffed toys and more backslaps from the dignitaries. Stephen Roach in evidence at the Tour of Hungary all this week, and he would have been muchly impressed by Fabio Jakobsen's effort. He'll have another opportunity at the end of the week. Points classification is led by the very consistent sprinting form of Phil Bauhaus. That's projected the German into the green jersey by a single point from Fabio Jakobsen. Groenewegen a little bit further back. Bauhaus in a strong position for that green jersey. Yeah, Bauhaus pipped again today, but 4th and 2nd place finishes for the German indicates some very strong form. He will be surely in the mix when it comes to that final stage opportunity for the Gallopers. And the mountains classification is retained by Matos Stoicek, popping out of the bunch to take that single point at the second and final climb of the day. Means he stays by the narrowest of margins ahead of the gaggle of riders, 3 riders, 1 point behind. Stoicek, the Slovakian rider from Team ATT. Day in red for him. And the best Hungarian rider classification for the white jersey is retained too. So another jersey which has stayed on the shoulders of the same rider, Balázs Rosa, also a rider from the day 1 breakaway. And a 3-second margin over Adam Karl, his teammate. And the Hungarian riders, numerous in this event. Proud moment for Balázs Rosa, who is among many riders showing just how cold and challenging the conditions were today. Well, that's it for stage 2. We look forward now to stage 3. It's going to be a summit finish, bit of a climbing one for the riders as we make our way to Page tomorrow. But from all of us here, that's it for stage 2. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.